Our CEO loves in-person meetings, and we always have a pretty large audience. But then when lockdown happened and COVID came, of course, we had to go virtual. So we started off with Wirecast, and then putting it into Teams because we're kind of a Microsoft Teams house. And then we had all kinds of issues. The quality wasn't that great, problems with Teams. And right in the middle of the pandemic, we decided to acquire a company called Sherpa. And that was really exciting because we never met any of these people that we bought the company. But then we transitioned into utilizing the Sherpa Stream product for the distribution. And so then what happened was we got better engagement with our people around the globe that were watching the live streams. And then now what's happened is, now that we're going back to the office, when our CEO does town halls once a month as a CEO update, we've got a hybrid event where people are in the audience like this, the live stream is happening, and to people at home that are working remotely, and also to other audiences that are at remote offices where a bunch of people will gather together and watch on a big screen and then interact with the CEO at that point in time. And so what's happened is migrating from Teams to this platform that we're using now has facilitated more conversation, more questions, it's a better platform than Teams to be able to facilitate the hybrid environment for communication.
So were you doing the production in Wirecast and then sending it out to
Exactly.
Sherpa?
Exactly.
And then whether
Yes.
it's coming into an office or it's going to somebody's house?
Right. So Sherpa is all cloud native, and so it's very easy to redirect the output from Wirecast to a virtual camera and run it into the virtual input and just squirt it up to the cloud for distribution. Yeah. And so what we found too was a lot of our customers, they went to this model as well. And one of the learnings, we've got this customer that has this environment where they have a hybrid environment with a lot of people in the office now, maybe sometimes up to 100 or more people, and we've implemented a local CDN for these folks, so that about 100 offices, maybe 100 people per office, they screwed up the routing tables in one of the offices, and so about 100 people were pulling it down from the cloud. It sucked the bandwidth. And so the people that were on site, and I don't know if you're like me, I watch the town hall and I kind of still working. Nobody could continue to do their work. It sucked all the bandwidth down so they couldn't actually go to the cloud and do any work. So one of the learnings is when you create this hybrid environment with a local CDN, make sure your routing tables are correct so that your network topology actually pulls from the CDN as opposed to going back to the cloud.
Yeah, absolutely. I've also seen that, I think, because a lot of people went to the fully virtual environment and everybody was pulling in the streams from their house, so there was never really any bandwidth contention. A lot of organizations have revamped their internal networking, and even we've seen that even when people have like 10, 20, 30% of people back in the office, they're having troubles with bandwidth because there's just so much more video, whether it's Zoom, video conferencing or streaming, that it's just, it's chewing up all the bandwidth, and they're not necessarily set up for that. And even some people are like, well, we got rid of our ECDN because we don't need it anymore. It's like, what? What? People are going to come back to the office at some point, and you're just going to still need that infrastructure.